to Straight Up Paleo, where we talk all things nutrition straight up. I'm one of your hosts, Christina Rice. I'm a holistic health coach and a nutritional therapy practitioner in training currently living in Los Angeles. I'm also the creator of the health and wellness blog, addictedtolovely.com, and the host of the Actually Adultish podcast.
And I'm your other host, Kara Halderman. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner from Dallas, Texas, creator of careaboutit.com, and co-host of the Low Carb Conversations podcast. In this podcast, we will be discussing all things paleo, health, and nutrition, along with answering questions straight from you.
If you want to submit a question for us to answer on the podcast, head to straightuppaleo.com or email us at straightuppaleo@gmail.com.
Remember our disclaimer. The materials in this podcast are only to be used for advice and are not to be used in place of general medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
If you want to support the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a rating and a review on iTunes. Enjoy the show.
Hello there.
Hey, how are you?
Dude, I'm so paranoid right now.
About what?
I cannot stop thinking about this. I burnt my finger over a week ago.
Oh my God.
I was just like freaking out to Christina about this, but I burnt my finger over a week ago. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Here I am a week later and I Googled, what does an infected burn look like? And then oh my God, I have all of the symptoms. You never should Google
for photos.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. God. And then it was like, you need to go to the doctor and get an antibiotic because you probably have sepsis. And I was like, great. So I started taking oil of oregano.
Yeah.
Preventative measures.
I've been overdosing on oil of oregano and I feel like I'm on drugs. So.
Ugh. Gross.
Yeah. Today is a weird day. This week has been a weird week.
What you been doing?
Well, I'm just all over the place. I've been having a lot of issues with boundaries recently, so I'm drawing some new boundaries in my life. So I need to disconnect from the world. I need to do an Instagram phone detox, but I have to wait until there's a day when I don't have to use the internet. You know what I'm saying? So
dude, don't wait till a day that you don't have to use the internet. Just give one up for a whole day. Well, your phone or something.
I literally I have a phone meeting or a post or a meeting with a brand every single day for the next 2 weeks.
Oh,
so
never mind.
I can't just not show up. So I have to just find a day to do it. Which this is part of what sucks about my job is I work on Sundays too.
Oh, I refuse to work on Sundays.
Yeah, so it's hard to find a day, but we'll get there. And I washed my clothes, I washed my laundry, and then went to dry them, and then forgot to turn the on button on. So then when I went back, they were still wet.
LOL.
And then I did dry them, and then I took them out of the dryer, and they're still damp. So now they're just all sitting on my bed, and I'm just so over everything. And yeah.
Dude, there is something going on in the world. There's got to be some sort of solar
There's
shit going on. But there's something going on.
What was it? It's the full moon or something. Meg told me about it.
Of course. I know nothing about that stuff. I just know that there really are energy shifts when that kind of stuff happens. And
is Mercury in retrograde right now?
Wait, is that what it is? It either was in retrograde or
I don't know.
It is.
All I know is that Meg says that when the full moon comes, she's off her game. And
really?
The full moon was last week or something.
I've been off my game for a month now. So I don't know. Oh my God. I was in Barnes & Noble today. My favorite place in the whole world.
Yeah.
First of all. But I was in Barnes & Noble and I was just I swear to God, something is happening in the world. I was just in Barnes & Noble chilling, looking at a book, and all of a sudden a book just flies off of the wall next to me
What was
onto
it?
the ground. It was, okay.
Keto clarity.
No. Okay. That's what I was like, oh my God, this is a sign. What is the book? What is the book? And so I went to go look at it, and it was, you know, at bookstores, they have big books of like portrait pictures. I don't know. It was like an art book. Like it's somebody's collection of portrait type pictures or something. And I was like, what is the symbolism behind this? I couldn't find any. I didn't care that much. But seriously, either that Barnes & Noble is haunted or my energy, something is happening with my energy and I'm just making books fly off of the wall. I don't know.
You'll have to tell me if anything else flies off the wall. That's very interesting.
So I have like this is very woo-woo and weird, but I go to these like...
Don't say that. It's not.
Okay, it's not. But whenever I say it, people look at me funny. But one of my mentors, like my spiritual teachers, she says when things around you like start breaking, like when things around you start breaking, or if things start falling or like flying off the wall around you and stuff like that, like, because this happens to everyone, people are just unaware of it. And anyways, if that starts happening, that means that like you are releasing energy and you're not putting it towards what you should put it towards. Because we're constantly like releasing negative energy. Like if you work on self-growth a lot, you're releasing a lot of negative energy. But what we forget to do when we release energy is we have to send a direction of where we want that energy to go. So she recommends you send your released energy like towards your goals or whatever, and it has a place to go. But if stuff's like breaking around you and like all that kind of stuff, that means like you have a lot of energy that's releasing, but it has like no direction, and it's just like being destructive. That's like her theory on that.
Well,
so
Kara, isn't that very applicable to your own life? Like we just had this talk.
Oh yeah. And things have been breaking around me and my fingers effed up. So I'm like, I had like a serious meditation this morning and like / yoga session in my office. And I was like, okay, I need to move all this energy towards my goals and stop hurting myself and breaking things. But then that Barnes & Noble thing happened. So I don't know. That's
the universe. You need to make some moves.
I know. I am making moves. My ebook, thank God, will be launched on March 1st. I've been working really hard on this, you guys. Like, I don't know. This is my first experience with creating content, and I'm like making videos and creating an ebook and all of that. And it's a huge learning curve, but I've been putting like all of myself into it. So I'm just really excited for you guys to get it in your hands or on your computer, whatever.
I can't wait to see it. I think that March is going to be a big month for us.
Yes, it is. We get to see each other twice.
We will both be with each other when we both have big things happening in March.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to be together. And you guys, it's Kara's birthday.
Yay, I'm old.
Oh my gosh, how old are you? 35?
Yeah. No, I'm basically like a 50-year-old woman, but I'll be 23 March 1st. Please wish me a happy birthday so I don't feel alone.
We're gonna be gallivanting about in Portland. We're gonna go to all of the good restaurants and eat all of the things.
You know where they all are. I don't. I just know Cultured Caveman, that paleo restaurant. Yeah. And then there's this chocolate place in Portland, and it's like a chocolate shop, and they do these amazing hot chocolates. And I have no idea what it's called at all, but
the cacao place.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah.
It was heaven.
And what else is there? The broth bar is so good, and Dick's Kitchen is really good. But wait, what's that restaurant? Oh, have you been to Ebb and Bean?
Mm-mm.
Dang, they have the best vegan soft serve.
I want that.
Ooh, man.
I want to get all of the matcha lattes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I can't get matcha lattes in Dallas. Nobody makes it right. They don't. Like
You
Whole
tell
Foods.
'em.
Oh my God. No, I told Whole Foods one time because I used to go there and get their matcha lattes, and they are like disgusting. I'm sorry. They're bitter. Like they're so bitter that it's undrinkable. It's so gross. And I told them, I was like, look, I like matcha. Like I drink it and I like the flavor. I was like, but y'all put way too much in here. It is like gross.
Ever since I started being friends with Kara, I say y'all, and I hate it because I know. I love when other people say it. I think it's super cute, but I don't want to say it because I feel like I sound like such a poser.
No,
Because
you're not.
I'm not from the South. You know what I'm saying? So when I say y'all need to do this, I feel like I sound like I'm just trying, and I don't mean to do it. It's an accident. It's
no, it's just a part of you now. I think it's fine. It's fine.
I just need to give a shout out to my new obsession, which is this Herbal Element caffeine-free coffee replacement tea from Emily Schramm, her company Herbal Element. They have these teas, and it's like a tea, and it's a coffee replacement. It tastes like coffee. It's called herbal coffee, I think. And I am obsessed with this. Like, I have like 5 cups a day. That's an exaggeration. Probably 2. But this is my 3rd today. And if you're looking for a caffeine-free, like, herbal coffee replacement, because I love the taste of coffee, but I cannot do caffeine or coffee itself.
I want some so bad.
This stuff is so good. It's so good. Hashtag not sponsored. But
I really want some now because you just keep talking about how good it is. And I do kind of miss coffee because I'm not doing coffee in the month of February. But I honestly feel so good that I kind of just don't want to, I'm kind of done.
Yeah, good. See, you don't need it. That's what the power of breaking an addiction is.
Yeah.
That
oh my
is
God. It was an addiction.
You know what else helps you break an addiction?
What?
Really good sleep.
Hell yeah, it does.
And I got 9.5 hours of sleep last night, and I don't think I've gotten that much sleep since I was 17.
You guys, that is so true. You don't even understand. Christina used to text me about how she never sleeps and she wakes up 1,000 times in the middle of the night. And she's like, what do I do? I'm so tired. And now, ever since you've been wearing SomniFix, your life is changed.
It really has. I mean, my standard used to be sort of I would always get 7 hours or so. And if I got 6, that could be fine. And then 5, I was pushing it. Now, if I'm not getting 8, that's unacceptable. I never thought I would have this many days in a row of at least 8 hours of sleep, if not 8.5. And it is changing my life. And I'm having crazy, vivid dreams all the time. I have some really intense dreams. I can't even explain them because they're really weird. I don't want to think about it right now anymore. But yeah, so SomniFix, if you don't know, is mouth tape that you put on your mouth so that you breathe through your nose during the night. And this makes it so that your body is forced into a parasympathetic state, our rest and digest mode. And this is what I believe has been helping me stay asleep the whole night. It also helps if you snore, but even if you don't snore, a lot of us just naturally open our mouths while we're sleeping, and then we drool. We get a dry mouth. Mm-hmm. It also affects immune function. What else does it affect? Everything.
Literally everything. I wear it probably about 30 minutes to an hour before I go to bed because I have I have a bedtime routine. I get in bed, I drink tea, and then when I'm done with my tea, I start reading and journaling and all this stuff. I tape
my mouth shut.
Yeah, I tape my mouth shut. I really do. I put on my SomniFix, my mouth tape, and then as I'm reading, I just kind of sit there and with my mouth tape on. But you can actually feel yourself slip into relaxation. Because you're not a freaking mouth breather anymore. You're taking the time to breathe in slowly through your nose. And I don't know, it just does something and puts you in the mood for sleep. And I haven't been able to, I used to take magnesium every night to be able to kind of wind down and go to bed. But ever since I've been using the mouth tape, I don't have to take magnesium anymore. It's just a simple
That's
breathing
amazing.
change. Yeah.
Wow.
It's really cool. And I'm pissed because I didn't wear it last night. And I woke up this morning and like, okay, just maybe TMI, but I woke up this morning and I'm like, ew, my mouth feels disgusting. Like, I don't know. Like I woke up
and you can't go back.
You can't. Like I woke up, my mouth was open and which is weird. And it tasted all gross and you have morning breath and you're like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
But then gross. You feel so much better when you mouth tape. And if you want to try it out, you can use our code for SomniFix. It is SUP Sleep. You get 10% off, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's all capital letters, SUPSLEEP, and you can go to SomniFix.com, and when you go to buy it through there, it'll just link you straight to Amazon, and you can use that code on Amazon, and you get 10% off. You have no excuses for the best night's sleep ever. It's so good. I'm obsessed with it. So.
Yeah, it really is. And I've been getting a lot of messages about it lately, which is really cool because I love that this message is getting out there and you guys are willing to improve your sleep. And I know that us in the wellness world, we like do all these weird hacks and stuff for sleep, and we try to change our diets for sleep. And we've tried to make so many improvements with our diet and supplementation, but sometimes our sleep still kind of sucks. And this is just another way that you can improve your sleep and not have to make these drastic like diet and lifestyle changes. It's something that you can do just by switching your breathing. So that's cool.
Can I just say something? I honestly, I feel really cool and trendy when I mouth tape because I'm seeing these really big, important people in the health space just now learning about it. And I'm seeing people post to their stories and they're like, oh, I'm trying mouth taping. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I beat you to the punch.
I was actually thinking that today. I was like,
badass.
wait, I'm a freaking biohacker.
Yeah, we biohacked this one before them. We beat them except for Mike Mutzel. We owe it all to Mike Mutzel.
Oh yeah, I do owe it all to Mike Mutzel.
He's the OG. If you guys haven't listened to our episode with him, check it out. I don't remember what number it is, but just search Mike Mutzel.
It was actually, that was a good episode too. Yeah, he is the OG mouth taper.
Yeah, so we learned it from him, but I just feel really cool that we did it before all these other people. So you should do it too before it becomes popular. And then you can tell your friends, oh, I was doing that like 2 months ago.
Yeah. That mouth taping thing is so 2017.
So 2018.
Oh yeah. Dang it.
Oh God. I don't want to think about the date because I got to do taxes. So it's fine. Okay. Should we hop into questions?
Let's do it.
Woo!
Okay, question numero uno is from Haley. And she said, what are your thoughts on boutique fitness classes? First of all, I love that she called it boutique fitness classes. For example, Soul Cycle, Bar, Berries, Orange Theory Fitness, etc. Do you think they're a waste of money? And can you reap as many benefits by making up your own workout, following your own plan or a normal gym? What do you all consider to be a good workout regimen? I'm going to throw the floor to you because you know more about working out than me. I do have some comments, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Well, my answer is the least popular answer of all. It depends. If,
yeah,
do I think they're a waste of money? Do I think, okay, here, let me answer this one. Can you reap as many benefits by making up or following your own plan at a normal gym? Absolutely, of course. I don't think they're a waste of money if that's what you love to do and you enjoy doing and that's what motivates you to go work out. I think that people should be doing whatever kind of workout gets them excited about doing it. So if you are working out and you don't like what you're doing, you need to change it. No one's going to be motivated to do that. A lot of people like fitness classes because, when they have a class to go to, it holds them accountable and it sort of forces them to go and stick to their routine, or maybe they like the group aspect of it, like CrossFit or Orange Theory. There's kind of a community grows within those, it seems like. So sometimes people like that community aspect. If you're an entrepreneur or you spend a lot of time alone, it can be a great way to make friends, meet other people. And some people just enjoy working out with others more, and it's just more motivating. So if joining fitness classes is gonna get you excited and get you out there and doing it, then yeah, I think it's worth the money. If you're somebody who doesn't like fitness classes and you're just doing them because you think that they're the most effective, I would say no. I would honestly, probably unpopular opinion, argue the opposite. I think it's probably more effective to do it yourself because you don't have the outside influence of other people. So you can adjust to what your body needs, making it harder or easier, and, progress on your own. And I also find that a lot of people who do fitness in a group setting sort of waste time and kind of mess around, I guess.
Like how?
I just find that it's less efficient. Like, I know if I go to a class, I could do the same amount of work. Maybe, like, I've gone to classes that are maybe an hour, right? And I know I could do the exact same workout if I wasn't in a group setting in 30 minutes. So it's just can sometimes be faster just because you're, like, dealing with a bigger group. And also, I don't know. I think it just depends on the person and what you're doing. But if you're talking about just getting results, you don't have to go to class. I mean, I don't ever go to classes. I don't pay for a gym membership. You don't need to pay for things. You can absolutely do things at home yourself. It's just about finding a good routine, always progressing and creating that progressive overload and challenging yourself and switching things up and getting creative with the equipment you have. And yeah,
I think that is really important, like what you just said, like switching it up.
Yeah.
I think if you're looking for like results driven, like if you really want to see results, I think that just doing like your fitness classes 5 days a week, like doing SoulCycle 5 days a week, like over time, you may see results in the beginning, but you're not really going to see like the long lasting growth that you want to see. You're probably going to plateau, and like our bodies really do need us to switch it up. So I'm just going to tell you personally what I do. And this is like what works for me. I work at Orange Theory Fitness. So I take the classes, and I take the classes 2 to 3 times a week. And then the other 2 or 3 days of the week, I'm at home now. Like, I don't have a gym membership anymore. I'm at home and I do body weight workouts, and I'm looking into getting some dumbbells, and I do strictly lifting because I know that those group classes are a bunch of cardio. And if you're a woman and you have some sort of adrenal, some sort of thyroid thing going on, I'm just looking at this from like a nutritionist functional point of view, it may not be the best for you to do the cardio driven classes like 5 days a week, and just giving your body a little bit of time to rest from that. And that is something that has been working really, really well for me lately. And I also really thrive off of the group fitness atmosphere. Like, I'm weird. Like, I really like being around groups of people, but when like it's too big of a group, it's too much for me. Like, I used to go to Lifetime Fitness, and I love the gym, but that gym was so big I could not be in there. Like, it was insane. But Orange Theory Fitness, like, I just love the group class atmosphere, and it makes me really inspired and motivated to go. And Orange Theory Fitness is like a freaking party when you go work out. And I've heard like Barry's and SoulCycle and stuff is the same way. So they do a really great job of making it fun. So if you need motivation, then I think it's a really great idea to go to some classes, but don't let them necessarily like suck you into getting unlimited and like going 5 days a week. Like, have the freedom to maybe switch it up and do some stuff on other days, some like body weight stuff, or just walking or like yoga or taking it easy. You don't have to do it like 5 days a week to see results.
Can I just be blunt?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a cardio person. Okay. I think there's a difference between doing things like SoulCycle or running and stuff because you genuinely love it. And I still can't wrap my head around how people actually genuinely love it. But, there is also an addictive property to that. The same way sugar is addictive, that type of fitness is addictive in our brains. So that's oftentimes also why people think they like things like SoulCycle, literally these chemical changes that are giving them this dopamine rush, basically. But anyways, if you are just coming from the perspective of what is most efficient and what is best for my health and results, physical results as well, like the cardio classes are not doing you anything.
Dude, weight training, like,
yeah, so you need
all
resistance.
The way.
You need resistance training. Like, you need to have resistance training. So this depends on your fitness level, body weight. Start with body weight and then progress to dumbbells, weights. If you don't have those, then there's definitely modifications you can make with body weight. You can make body weight really difficult, but you have to keep progressing, and that's why you have to be more creative. You know, with dumbbells, it's like you can add more resistance, things like that. I have a pair of adjustable dumbbells that I use that I just add resistance to. I have a kettlebell, things like that, but you need some type of resistance training, and like, you need to do that a few times a week, and then lots of just low-level movement, just not exercise, but moving around. So walking around and just not being sedentary. And then, you know, depending on your hormonal status, high-intensity training, like once every 7 to 10 days is what I think, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, and most people really mess up there. High intensity interval training should be 10 to 15 minutes max, maybe even less. But if you're not exhausted by the end of that, you didn't do it right. That wasn't high enough intensity. Like, you should feel like you want to die.
And that is what, like, bothers me about some of these classes, is that they are like hour long, basically high intensity type classes. And I alternate between running and walking the Orange Theory fitness classes, because if I ran it like the whole entire time, every single day, I would be so ridiculously exhausted. And that's what I did in the very beginning. I just like followed the template of the workout, and just for me and my body, it was too much. So I like on the treadmill section, like I walk it, and that's what I recommend a lot of people doing. And I walk it on a high incline, and I feel great, and it's not like super impactful to my hormones. And that's the other thing. Like, you don't need to believe these classes that you need like a 60-minute time frame to get a good workout in. Because all these classes are an hour, and it's not true. Like, you don't need 60 minutes to get an effective workout in. If you have some weights or even your body weight and you just like do a circuit, like I like circuits personally. And if you just pick like 5 workouts or something like that, 4 or 5 workouts, and just repeat them for 20 minutes with minimal breaks, or who cares, take some breaks, whatever. Just, you'll get a good workout, because that's what I used to do. And I really liked doing that, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, this is what people are not understanding. So it's like, I see these classes called 50-minute HIIT classes. That's not HIIT.
That's not HIIT.
Okay?
Yeah.
In a class, that is too long of a workout. So the only time a workout should be lasting that long is when you're taking sufficient rest in between everything. So like, if Kara's doing a circuit, she's not repeating circuits with minimal rest for 60 minutes. You know,
no, it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes.
15,
yeah.
20 minutes.
Like, that's the difference. Workouts should be brief and intense, in my opinion. Brief and intense, or very, very low level, calm and relaxed. And when you get in between, that's where you run into trouble, because I mean, we need to take a step back, and exercise is a stressor on your body. So we all know we don't want to be entering into chronic stress mode. We don't want to be in fight or flight all the time. That is where weight gain comes in. That's where inflammation comes in. That's where our bodies are freaking out. That's when our carb cravings increase, right? So when you are running for an hour, you're putting your body in a stress response for an hour, versus this is why it's so important for high intensity interval training sessions to be brief and intense. So you're raising your heart rate, you're putting your body in that stress response for like 20 seconds, and then you're dropping it back down, and then it's a release. And you're only doing that for 15 minutes total, maybe less, right? Or same with weight training. It's the same thing. You're putting a stress on your body in a calmer fashion, and then you release the weight, right? And then you're taking a rest. Like, it's not this constant
movement, constant push
for 60 minutes. Like, do you think our ancestors were randomly running around for 60 minutes. Why would anyone do that?
Dude, I just had like a funny image in my head. That's why I laughed.
No one would do that.
God.
Like, literally no one would do that. So, I mean, I think people so cardio will burn more calories. So say within that hour, right? But it's also compromising your lean muscle mass, and weights are building your muscle mass, which are burning more calories on their own. And high intensity interval training and resistance training is continuing to burn calories throughout the next day or two. Like, it's a long-term effect. You know what I'm saying? So versus cardio is like, okay, maybe you get more calories burned right then, but then this is the other thing is burning more calories isn't what's giving you results. Like, what makes people look lean and toned is their muscle mass.
Yeah, I never saw more results, like positive changes in my body, until I started lifting. And I absolutely love lifting now because I like, this is not to like toot my own horn or anything like that, but I get compliments saying I look like muscular and fit, and people are like, do you work out? And I'm like, yeah, I do work out. You know, and that did not start happening to me until I started lifting weights. And it makes you just feel honestly more confident and like powerful. I don't know what it is about lifting weights, but you feel just more confident as a person. And it is intense, but it's not like as intense as if you were running a couple miles. Like, it's a completely different type of intensity. And I don't know, I love it. And I think what makes the biggest difference for me is it all boils down to, what do you love doing? Because if you are spending an hour of your day in a class and in your head, you're like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Like, seriously, pay attention. Like, when you're working out, what you're saying in your head, you're like, I can't wait for this to be over. Because remember, like, everything that you're saying in your head, like, you're programming that into your mind. Like, that's your mindset. And if you're telling your body while you're working out that you hate what you're doing and like you're having the worst time ever, then your body is going to respond that way and like hate it back. So it's going to rebel against you, and you may like actually gain weight from it or whatever. You can see negative consequences from that just because your mindset during that workout is not good. So find things that you actually like to do.
I agree. And I mean, my own experience when I was first trying to figure out fitness, I did what all the other girls did. I just did cardio for an hour and then like abs, and I hated every second. I dreaded going to the gym, and then I got introduced to weights, and I was just shocked at, first of all, I liked doing weights because I didn't sweat, and it was so much.
Funny.
I was shocked at how much more efficient it was. So, and when I was doing all this cardio, I didn't see any change in my body at all. You know, I felt like I just had to do this to maintain how I looked. And I had no muscle at all. And then I started doing weights consistently, didn't do any cardio. And my body, in a few weeks, totally changed. Like, I had muscle tone, and, like, I had biceps. And my clothes fit, like, my weight went up, but I went down, like, 2 pant sizes. And it was just because my body shape was changing. And I was like, okay, I would work out for maybe 20 minutes. And I was getting these crazy results. Versus going on the elliptical for an hour. And I was like, that was such a waste of time. Like, if fitness became so easy to fit into my life, because I would literally, I remember this, I would go to dinner in college. I would go to dinner at the, what are they called? Dining halls. Come back, change, work out in my dorm room, because I had dumbbells in my dorm room. I would like lift weights for like 20, 25 minutes. And then I literally did not even break a sweat. And then I would just change into my party clothes, and I would go out, and we'd go out to the parties. We'd go out to the frat row. And like, it was like I could fit it in any time, you know, so it wasn't, it literally, there was nothing about it anymore that stressed me out. I actually looked forward to it, and I felt more energized. And it really also helped with my appetite, because cardio, I realized, was just making me crazy hungry all the time. And then resistance training actually like reduced my appetite by a lot. And yeah, it was just like a whole new world. And it's hard to believe kind of until you experience it.
It is really hard to believe. So I've talked about this before, I think on a previous episode, but when we had the Mind Pump guys on, if you haven't listened to that episode, just go listen to it. They talk a lot more about fitness. And they know what they're talking about. I'm obsessed with their show now, but they gave this recommendation, this like basic recommendation to do. This is when I had my membership to Lifetime, to really focus on your form and just do squats, deadlifts, chest press, shoulder press, and rows, all with barbell. And I was like, I'm doing this. And I did that. And I went up in weights and I just really focused on my form. And I did that for about 2 months. I switched it up a little bit towards the end because I got kind of bored, low key, but I switched it up a little bit towards the end, and I kept going up in weights, and I kept like just playing with the rep ranges, but doing the same like type of workouts. And I threw in like a tiny bit of HIIT cardio here and there. Like when I say tiny bit, I mean like 1 time a week. And I gained 6 pounds of muscle and lost 2% body fat. And that is like not something that has happened in my body in a really long time. Because of all the hormone stuff that's been going on in my body recently with my thyroid. But I could tell, everyone around me could see there was a physical difference, and I barely did any cardio, and I stuck to like 5 weight movements, and that was it.
And did that feel like less than you were doing before?
Oh, I would leave the gym and I'd be like, am I sure I did enough? Yeah. Like that's what I would feel like. But I don't like to get on scales, but before my membership ended, I wanted to get on their InBody machine, which is like their body fat percentage muscle mass thing. And I was like, F it, I'm just going to do it. And I was surprised. I gained like 3 pounds, but it was all muscle. Mm-hmm. And I lost 2% body fat just from lifting weights for like a month and a half, 2 months, and doing no cardio.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I felt like I wasn't doing enough, but it obviously was.
Yeah. It's funny because we just are sort of conditioned to feel like we need to do more and more and more. And I also think the hormonal thing, I mean, I recently have stopped, I'm not doing HIIT anymore. I think that it's good to train your cardiovascular health, yeah. But I stopped doing that because like my cortisol is so high in general, and
yeah, it's like you don't need that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need to add that in, right? And I think that even I was doing it I was really doing it like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. But I honestly think that I've been feeling better since I stopped.
Good.
Like, that's the only thing I changed. Like, I just took that out. And I think that it's because you have to think of everything that's going on in your body. You know what I'm saying? So when my cortisol is really high, my hormones are going around, like, my body is stressed out when it's dealing with gut issues, right? You don't need to add in an extra stressor like that,
Exactly.
And even before that, I mean, when I started towards the end of my Candida protocol, when I was kind of like, okay, I need to get rid of this Candida, I changed the way I lift weights a lot. So I switched to like a lot slower and all straight sets. And I honestly think that had a big impact on my ability to heal. Because even just doing more circuits, because that is one way I challenge my bodies because I have limited equipment. I don't have a barbell, right? So I would do some like more circuits, but I think just switching to straight sets and taking way more rest in between helped a lot, just so that my body could calm down.
For hormonally challenged women, and that kind of seems to be an overarching theme.
I think that we take a lot of this fitness information that's put out there just for the general population, and we forget to put it in the context of our own lives. So, I mean, if you have amenorrhea, like I do, and like I know so many other women do, that is something to take into account. That means your body feels stressed out, and you have to find the balance between still, I think that resistance training is really important for bone health. And I think muscle mass in general is really important for longevity and overall health, but like adding in more high intensity probably isn't a good idea when your body generally is feeling stressed.
Right. I agree. And you have to remember the flip side. Also, I also have to mention that not working out is also a stressor. Prolonged periods of not working out. Like, it's okay to have a freaking rest day. Like, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, please have a rest day. I mean, like, when you take an extended period of time without working out and you're not walking and you're just like being sedentary, that's also a stressor on your body. So even if you're not doing like resistance training or whatever classes or something, like you need to be getting some sort of movement in. So go for a walk, do some yoga, stretching, just some freaking squats in your living room.
Yeah.
Like something we have to, like, as a culture, become more active and get away from a sedentary lifestyle, which I know is difficult because of the careers that we all have. But just in general, the more active you are, the better. But that doesn't necessarily mean the more intense your activity is, the better.
Yeah. And yeah, thank you for saying that. You know, I'm so passionate about this, and I get so frustrated with how sedentary people are and they just don't want to move. And it's like literally going back to the laws of physics and just learning about momentum and inertia. When
physics.
When an object is just sitting there, not moving, it's not going to move. It's not until once it starts moving, it's going to continue to move, right? It's the same as a human being. So if you're used to being sedentary, of course you're not going to want to get up and walk. You know, like it takes you're going to keep with the movement pattern you have. But once you start getting in the habit of moving throughout the day, getting up, walking around, walking to get water, walking to the bath, just getting up, then your body gets more used to it and you get more energy and you want to do it more. Yep.
That's basically it. Like, I have nothing to add in, but it's all just so true. That's why I love Nike. I really just do love Nike's saying the just do it. Like, I used to think that was so stupid. Back in the day, I was like, that is the stupidest slogan ever. And now I'm like, no, that's really smart, because once you actually just start doing stuff, like, you can't stop. You just want to keep moving. And and then it turns into like your lifestyle. Cause I used to be the type of person where I sat on the couch all day and I would binge watch Netflix and just eat stuff. And even if I was eating healthy food, still, I didn't like to move. But then I started going to the gym and I started going on walks. And now if I sit around all day, like, I don't feel like the same person. I don't really feel like, I'm happy, but I don't feel as happy. Like, my mood isn't lifted. I feel stiff in my body. And like, I just need to go for walks or go to the gym or do something. So just do it. Yeah. Sponsor us, Nike.
Agree. Agree. Okay. Should we move on?
Yeah, man. I thought that question was going to take like 10 minutes.
I know. Typical. Okay. I'll read the next one. Hi, Christina and Kara. Oh, wait, I didn't put the name. I don't know who it is. Oh, Victoria. Okay. Discovered you through Mind Pump. Oh, hey. And have been binge listening all weekend. Love that you're both so real and yourselves while sharing tons of helpful info. Thank you. You're sweet.
Thank you.
Okay. She says, I'm wondering, can you weigh in on this whole lectin thing? I've been working on digestive issues and HPA axis dysfunction after recovering from 15 rounds of antibiotics.
Oh, girl.
Holy hell. Wow. From some uninformed Western docs. That's one way to put it. She says, cutting out grains, legumes, dairy, alcohol, and refined sugar has been life-changing, but I still don't feel 100%. And then she says, do you think lectins are more like gluten? Everyone should avoid because they're universally damaging, or dairy. Some folks can tolerate, others not as much. I'm down to make more dietary changes, but I find some of the recommendations pretty out there, like no cashews, nothing with seeds like zucchini and squash. Plus, elimination diet and testing takes weeks or months of time, as you know. Would love your informed thoughts on how you would approach this. Wow.
So first of all, we're not laughing like at you.
Oh no.
Or like at the question. Like,
this
I don't
is a great question, and I don't really want anyone to think
we're like being rude or laughing at you.
Oh, no,
we're
I'm glad.
laughing
This is a great
because
question.
this is like I don't know. Some of these topics are funny to us now because we just see things floating around like so much. Like everyone's talking about this lectin thing, and like we text about this kind of stuff all the time. We have been debating lectins for months. I swear.
Well, it's funny thinking about our mindset when this lectin thing first came out, like a long time ago, and now, and I think, wow, I was a dumbass.
Yeah, same.
For even caring.
I know. Like, okay, I do think that there is a time and a place to care about lectins, but you have to remember that there is also a spectrum of lectins.
Yeah, there are different classes. Okay?
Yes, there are different classes of lectins, and there are different types of people that should worry about lectins. I think that, first of all, if you don't know what a lectin is, do not worry about lectins because you're not even ready to worry about lectins. That means that you are
you ain't ready.
Like, you ain't ready for it.
I'm dead. Okay.
But that means usually, like, if you're in the beginning stage of your health journey and you're just starting out, seriously, do not even worry about it.
Don't go down the rabbit hole. I feel like this book has just made people orthorexic.
It honestly scared the crap out of me. Like, I read this book. Should we even talk about what the book is?
I mean,
okay,
yeah.
So it's called The Plant Paradox.
Mic drop.
I don't know what to say about it, but basically it's a book talking about how lectins in plants, and lectins are these protein molecules in plants. So vegetables have lectins, grains, nuts, seeds have lectins, and they are these molecules that like attach to sugar compounds in your body. And there's now all these people saying that lectins are contributing to like leaky gut and gut dysbiosis and inflammation and all of this stuff. And I do think that to a degree, this is true. The foods with the most amount of lectins, like grains and legumes, they just have like a crazy amount of lectins. And the only way that you can get rid of lectins or lessen the lectin load in those types of foods are cooking or sprouting and fermentation, which, by the way, is traditionally how like our ancestors handled foods like grains, nuts and seeds, beans. They were sprouted or they were soaked or they were fermented. And same with a lot of vegetables. So like innately, our ancestors knew what to do with them. So they had a reduced lectin load and they were easier on digestion. But now, like fast forward to the future, sprouting and soaking and fermenting is like a thing of the past. And I mean, it's coming back in the health community now, but they don't do that anymore. Everyone just goes to Costco and like buys giant bags of, I don't know, almonds that are just raw almonds, or there's nothing wrong with that, but that was a bad example. You know, just like a bunch of refined like flours and beans and stuff, or like canned beans, everything that's already prepared. And nobody wants to take the time to do all the traditional prep that was done in the past. And I do believe that if we are eating tons of grains and beans and those really, really heavy lectin loaded foods without taking that extra step to reduce the lectin load, that definitely can impact digestion if you already are susceptible to some issues.
Yeah. I mean, pressure cooking is your best bet. But this is the thing. Going back to how there are different types of lectins. So, yeah, I think that lectin-containing foods like your grains, corn-fed meats, peanuts, soybeans, like, I think, yeah, people should avoid them. But when we're talking about zucchini and squash, I'm sorry.
Like, oh God, that makes me cringe.
Okay, let me talk about zucchini for a second. This one makes me really upset because zucchini is one food that is almost universally safe on every gut healing diet. it's low FODMAP, it's fine for gaps in SCD and AIP. I feel like zucchini is one food that generally works for everybody, and then you throw this out there that zucchini is, not gonna... I think it's just causing, wreaking havoc. Do you know what I'm saying?
And, cucumbers.
Yeah.
He's saying that, cucumbers and zucchini and basically any vegetable with seeds and thick skins, like squashes, have high loads of lectins, and people should just avoid them because it'll reduce inflammation. And it's just if you already follow a paleo diet or an AIP diet and you're told, you have to give up zucchini or squash or cucumbers, you're just why do I even try anymore? And it can make you obsessed.
This is the thing, you guys, you can take any food and find a pro and a con for it. You can find a good and a bad thing about any food. I guarantee you, if you Google, so we have to pick and choose our battles. And the lectins in fruits and vegetables are just completely different than lectins in things like grains and legumes. It's completely different. The only thing that I would say about in terms of worrying about lectins in fruits and vegetables would be if you have an autoimmune disease, then the nightshades are the ones that I would say, that is something to take into account.
Oh, yeah. But I notice a personal difference. When I eat too many nightshades, I feel inflamed. So
I do too at this point. We don't know. I don't have enough.
We don't know anymore.
Yeah, we don't know if we have autoimmune diseases at this point. But you know what I'm saying? So the nightshades are what I would say if you wanted to go a step further. But I also think that we need to understand that so much of this is also related to stress. So if whatever way of eating you are going about, for me, if I tried to follow this lectin-free diet, I would be so stressed out. I'll just tell you right now. This is the other thing. If you follow this Dr. Gundry's diet that he puts out there, it's very high in sulfur-rich vegetables. Also, he doesn't suggest enough protein, in my opinion, but whatever. It's very sulfur rich. What if somebody has sulfur intolerance?
I mean, not only that, but those foods are also
cruciferous vegetables. What if
they're high FODMAPs?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, there's going to be a pro and con for everything. That's why it's so different depending on the person, and also the stress factor. I was just talking about this the other day. One of the reasons why I believe low FODMAP didn't work for me was because it stressed me out so much. I was so stressed out by having to limit all of these vegetables. And the second I got off of it, I got rid of my SIBO.
Yep. Stress, seriously, I'm beginning to think that stress trumps everything.
It does trump all, yeah.
It trumps everything, because I did AIP for a long time, 3 months. That's not a long time, but it was a long time for me. And I did AIP for 3 or 4 months, and that eliminates, all the nightshades, all the nuts and seeds, all of that. And I felt better. I really did. I felt better, but I also felt stressed because of the diet, because I wanted some freaking nut butter. Seriously, I felt stressed out because I couldn't eat nightshades and all of that. And then I just kind of gave it up, and I'm not very stressed out anymore about my food. And I feel even better than I did when I ate strict AIP. So I really do think just stress trumps all, and it's not worth worrying about at all. I just don't think it's worth worrying about zucchini or cucumber or anything like that unless you seriously do have autoimmune conditions and it's active and flaring and you need something to take action on.
Yeah. I don't think that you need to be so worried about these lectins that he's talking about. I would be concerned about the lectins in gluten and grains and legumes. And I mean, some of these other foods I think can be problematic for other reasons. I
think nuts and seeds though are a big one. If you're eating a lot of nuts and seeds that are not soaked and sprouted, I really do think that can cause a lot of digestive issues for a lot of people. And just either buying sprouted nuts or whatever, or doing it yourself, just soaking them overnight, and then like roasting them in a really low oven, something like that can really help with digestion. So nuts and seeds are an issue. I still feel like.
Yeah, I think so as well. Also, like, I mean, cashews can be really moldy. I think that can cause issues for people. I think cashews of all the nuts would be probably.
I'm trying to think of like how I do when I eat cashews. I'm like,
I definitely,
because I don't do well when I eat peanuts. Like,
oh, I can't do peanuts. I
love it, but
I don't do as well with cashews as other nuts, but I definitely, in my head, I count them as a nut.
Yeah, same. I'm not going to give up like
I will never eat a peanut, but I'll eat a cashew. I'll eat cashews.
I would probably eat peanut butter. I just know that I wouldn't feel so hot when I eat peanut butter, but I think that's a mold issue. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
But
I think it's also just really important, like, some of these diets that are being put out there, it's just like, at what point, I mean, your food list is just growing smaller and smaller. This is just ridiculous, you know? It's so important to get a wide variety of vegetables in your diet, a wide variety of foods, and we want all those different micronutrients, and it's really important to rotate your diet, especially if you have gut issues and you want to make sure that you don't become intolerant to foods. You know, it's just really important to keep rotating it, and when you cling to a diet like this where you are eating the same foods over and over again and it's limited, you're just going to run into more issues, in my opinion.
I agree. I still do think, though, like, the lectins in grains and beans, like, seriously, if you have any sort of health concern, I would avoid those. But just don't worry about your vegetables.
I think if you're a human, you should avoid them, but that's just me.
I know, that's you. That's you. I think you can be a little more lenient depending on who you are and your goals. But seriously, just stop eating gluten, guys.
Yeah.
That's it.
Stop eating gluten. It's addictive, and it destroys your gut lining and your brain, so... You want to protect those myelin sheaths. Got to get that strong neuroconductivity. Okay.
Yep.
Do you have anything else to say about this?
No, like we touched on the nightshade thing, because I really do think that the nightshades are an issue because of lectins. Like, if you didn't know that, nightshades, they produce compounds as protection mechanisms, basically, and they can be destructive to our central nervous system in people that already have a weakened immune system, like people with autoimmune disease or people with chronic type inflammation. So that is why nightshades can be problematic. And I do think that those are vegetables that should be considered to be removed when you have autoimmune disease or chronic inflammation. You don't have to do it, but you can experiment with it and see what happens. But the little things like squash and zucchini, and like, just no, like, you don't have to eliminate them. But what you can do is, if you really are concerned about this, like, and you think that this will make a difference in your life, what you can do is peel and de-seed vegetables like that, like zucchini or cucumber or your squashes. Take off the skins and scoop out the seeds with a spoon, because that's where most of the lectins live anyways. Yeah. So if you're really concerned about it, you can do that, but you don't have to just give up the food altogether. Yeah. And like tomato paste, I've read, I don't know if this is true, but I've read that tomato paste has less lectins than like tomato sauce or something like that, because the tomatoes are de-seeded and peeled.
Yeah. Well, this is a common argument people say about Italians. How come Italians are fine when they have so much? It's because that they've been cooking the tomatoes for a long time and oftentimes remove the seeds and the skins, and it is like the paste more, it's been cooked for a long time. So preparation is incredibly important. And I feel like I do much better with tomato paste than actual tomatoes.
I do too. I really do. I agree. I just love eggplant.
Same. I'm not giving it up. I can't. I just can't.
I know. I can't either.
I did for like 2 months, and I just now that I added it back in, I'm like, okay, never again am I taking that out.
It's so good.
I know.
Like, it is so
like,
good.
Soft. Okay, whatever. Cool. Well, I think we should wrap it up, right? Those were good. Thanks for the questions, guys.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Those were 2 really good questions. And man, we have another one for next time that's loaded. We're excited.
Yeah, we have lots of
we have lots of loaded questions.
Yeah, but keep sending in your questions. Send them to straightuppaleo@gmail.com or our website, straightuppaleo.com. And make sure you join our Facebook group if you haven't already, Straight Up Paleo Pals. It is popping in there, let me tell you. It's a party.
It is a party, and it's a good place to meet other gals and guys that are like-minded like you and care about your health. We had a girl in there post how she likes being in our group because she doesn't know anyone in real life that like cares about stuff like this. And that warmed my heart because there's a lot of I don't really know a lot of people in real life either. Yeah, basically #same. I'm like, you guys are my best friends. So.
I know, seriously. So yeah, become our friends. It's a really great group. So we love you guys. And we can't wait to talk to you again next week. We hope you liked this one.
Yes, and our Artisana giveaway is now closed.
Oh, yeah. And we will email the winner and announce it on our Instagrams.
Yep, we will do that. So thanks for entering the Artisana giveaway. Join our FB group and just keep sending in your questions because we love getting the opportunity to answer them. Other than that, I think we're good.
All right. Bye.
Bye, y'all.